Hello everyone. Today I am going to teach you how to use foldables to teach honors. Typically, honors are taught using worksheets, and this is just a new and innovative, creative way to teach honors, to give kids something creative to use to do that. Today I'm going to teach you how to make one kind of foldable that has 3 different uses. The things you will need are colored pencils, a pair of scissors, a pencil or a pen, and some 8.5 by 11 inch paper, which is just the size of paper that you would normally get out of your printer. You can use colored, which is a little more fun, or you can just use plain old white paper, which is what I'm going to show you to use today because that's probably what you have the most access to. This foldable is called a flap foldable, and you can make it with as many different flaps as you want, and I'm going to show you how to make it with 5 flaps, 7 flaps, and 6 flaps. The first one we're going to do is a 6 flap foldable. You'll take your 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and fold it in half longwise, which I'll teach you some new terminology if you don't already know. This kind of fold kids will probably refer to as a hot dog fold. And the reason is because it's long and skinny like a hot dog, and you can open it up and you can put the hot dog inside. Or maybe us Pathfinders might want to call it a big Frank fold. But anyway, fold that paper lengthwise. The next thing you're going to do is take and fold it in half the other direction. This is simply making some cutting guidelines for you. So fold that in half and then open it back up. And then you're going to take each side and fold into thirds. You can eyeball this, which is what I'm going to do, or if you're OCD and want to measure, it's about 1 3/4 inches per fold. But I'm just going to eyeball and fold each side into 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do that to the other side. And then open it back up. And now I have 6 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to open this up all the way back up. So we have a bunch of little boxes. The next thing that you will need is your scissors. We are going to take on each one of these cutting lines and cut from the edge toward the center fold and stop there. So we're only cutting halfway, all the way on these fold lines that we just marked. So from the outside to the center line, from the outside to the center line. A trick to note on this is we're making a 6 flap foldable. If you're making 6 flaps on your foldable, you're going to do 5 cuts, just like this, to make those flaps. When you're done, just take and fold it back over and kind of smooth it out. And there we have our foldable with 6 different flaps that can hold information. The first use I'm going to show you for this, which I've already made, is for the flower honor. So here is my 6 flap foldable that I used just like I showed you, and I used it for the flower honor. If you turn this over, I always like to make a title of some kind on the back side that isn't cut. And you'll see I used my colored pencils and I wrote flowers and family characteristics. I drew a little flower and I did that this is the flower honor requirement number 3. Over on the other side, I have 6 different families of flowers. Inside, I have written the characteristics of those families. Pen or pencil. Nice thing to do is give kids an opportunity to have a visual representation for what they draw. This is the lily family, and a tulip is in the lily family, so I drew a tulip. Further down I have the cactus family. I drew a little cactus on there. And I haven't filled all these in, but you can just see that there's quite a bit of information that you can put in there for each type of flower family. And this is once again used for the flower honor requirement number 3. The next type of foldable I made is a 5-flap foldable. So back to the original one I just made with you, we cut 6 flaps. Instead of cutting 6 flaps, I just made 5. So each flap is just a little bit wider. And I just kind of eyeballed that when I was cutting. This is the 5-flap foldable. On the back I have my title. This is for the archery honor requirement number 5, and it's about archery equipment. And I have a little bow and arrow there. So on the front I have 5 different types of archery equipment. And I left room over here where kids could either draw or print out a picture of each type of archery equipment just to help them remember that. Then inside the flap is what that archery equipment piece does, how to hold it, how to use it. This one happens to be a quiver. Up here at the top I have the arm guard, what it is, how to use it. So this is for the archery requirement number 5. It is a 5-flap foldable telling you about archery equipment. The last one is a 7-flap foldable. So on the front I made 7 flaps, which means that the flaps are just a little bit skinnier. And this one happens to be my weekly devotional journal and prayer diary. And this is for the Adventurer for Christ Honor requirement number 1, which requires you to keep a diary or a journal of your devotionals and prayer life every week. And I just thought this would be something fun and unique for kids to do besides just writing on a piece of paper. So each flap is a day of the week, and there are so many opportunities for things to put inside these flaps. On Tuesday, I drew a little thought bubble because inside here, my prompt for writing about my devotional on Tuesday is what I read and my thoughts about it. And then on the outside flap, I have my prayer requests and praises. Down here, I did something I want to change in myself because of what I read, and a place to write answers and requests. And another kind you can do is sentence starters. Jesus, thank you for, and then let the student or child finish the line. Please help me to finish the line, and then prayers over there. So this is your simple 7-flap foldable for the days of the week, and a prayer devotional for the Adventure for Christ Honor requirement number 1. So as you can see, instead of using your regular old worksheet, which there's nothing wrong with worksheets, you can get a little creative and make a foldable for kids to keep track of their information that they learn in the honors. So be creative. You can make these in any size. It doesn't have to be an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. You can do small ones. You can do really big ones. You can make as many different flaps as you want to be useful for whatever your needs are. So be creative, think outside the box, and this month or two when you're teaching an honor at Pathfinders, try using a foldable. Thanks for watching.